out in the desert.
Neighbors claimed they practice witchcraft.
And a what? And a two? And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to this show, your favorite show. It better be anyway.
I mean, is it? That's assuming a
It's
lot.
my favorite show.
Mine too.
Aww. So sweet.
Ugh, my headphones are like fitting weird today. Sorry if you
Lots
guys
of weird
hear
things
me
going
fit.
on today.
Yeah.
Lots of very odd things going on. It's, it's weird. Weird recording session day.
It is. Well, there's also the fact that the amount of caffeine that I have poured into my body is not equivalent to the level of awake that I'm feeling right now. So I'm a little scared. I'm worried as to where that caffeine's going. We've had a quad of espresso. We've had a Monster energy drink, 0 sugar. By the way, the Ultra Rosa flavor.
Told you it's good.
Bomb.
I
know. That's why I got it. Yeah, it's so good.
And I say that because it takes a lot. I love my orange, but that one
this is a good one.
That one hits a little different.
This is a good one.
It's great. It's a great energy drink there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not getting any energy, but apparently Monster has less caffeine in it than a cup of coffee. Did you know that?
Yeah, Monster is my preferred energy drink.
I'm not really an energy drink person, but when I stopped sleeping this week, girl's got to turn to something, but it's actually not working.
You know what's going to happen? It's going to hit you at the worst possible moment.
Maybe. Probably when we're done recording this, I'll be like, I'm so awake.
I'm fucking wired.
Damn it. I mean, that's fine. I can do one of the 5 million other fucking things that I have to do.
One of the many other things on your Virgo list.
Yeah, this week is a bitch. Yeah. I feel like I was just doing all the things, but also accomplishing none of the things this week.
Yeah. And then, while you were doing that, I was busy, working on our TikTok presence and
yeah, look at you fucking building an audience on TikTok. Now we gonna have to figure out what the fuck we gonna say. We a podcast, right? And you done this on a visual medium.
I know.
You know that our whole thing was that you don't see us.
That's the twist of it all, right? That's the twist of it all, but who would have thunk?
See, I'm gonna have to edit my fucking housekeeping that I do at the end of every episode. I'm gonna have to be follow us on TikTok, The Haunted Heart.
The Haunted Heart Podcast.
Oh, podcast.
I did change it to The Haunted Heart Podcast.
Well, thank you.
Versus The Haunted Heart.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This bitch goes viral and don't even put a link to the podcast, and I'm like, damn.
It's in there. There's a full link to our Instagram. There's a full link to our website. The name is officially changed to the Haunted Heart
Podcast. But they have to go to our
and
profile.
there is our and our logo is on there as our profile picture. So, and I'm fairly certain we have had 2 new followers.
There you go.
On our Instagram.
Yeah, okay. We had 3, but then we didn't.
Then went down.
Then we only had 2.
And then it went back up.
Amazing. Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
beautiful. On brand, some would say.
Yeah, we're viral sensations now.
That is true.
Welcome to that.
That is true. And it's like I really hope y'all don't expect much from me because they had started following our page, right? And we're up to we're past 2,000 followers on there now.
Really? Fuck.
Yeah, and I'm like, I really, and I'm like, why are you following though?
Literally everybody listening to this show right now is like, oh great, we're so excited for you to get another social media platform that you don't fucking post on. Yeah. We're trying.
Do we get an A for effort, people? I
think so.
A gold star, something.
Look, my grade is the
pat
only
on the head.
one. My grade is the only one that matters, and I'm saying we're getting an M for making it through, sis.
An M for making it through.
Yeah,
that is true.
That's
that is
what
true.
we're getting.
Well, hopefully we could make it through another episode this week.
Hopefully. I got my monster here. She's ready. I don't want to hear nothing from you sip people who get upset with me because I sip
from you
throughout the show.
People. Those people that don't like all the sips and clicks and all of that
All that free
Tongue
ASMR
popping.
you're getting.
Free ASMR, yes.
I'm talking to the people who are listening to us as they're going to sleep,
That is true.
of which we have heard from a few. I'm not just making that up. I'm worried for you. I feel like your sleep might be even more questionable than my level of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, bless you. Thanks for listening. Glad to be here with you in bed.
We're right there with you, along with those people that cut soap. We love it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, hopefully we can get through this episode this week and hopefully you're okay. I mean, you just have to listen because it's mine.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm pleased.
It's my week.
Yeah, I did my work. I brought you the Holy Gospel of the Mothman. And
Huge hit. Everyone
yeah.
loves Mothman.
By the way, I'm sure that has nothing to do with the fact that I've completely stopped fucking sleeping this week. So I'm sure that had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Wait, did you see Mothman? Are you going insane? Are
Maybe.
you
Except I don't have any fucking memory of seeing the Mothman.
Huh?
I don't have any
Strange.
memory of it. I feel like, here's the deal. I understand that a lot of the literature has painted Mothman in a particularly evil light. And I tried to stay away from that in my presentation of him. I mean, I did have to present the facts. And the fact that, everyone who's seen him has reported a feeling of intense dread.
Yes.
And sheer evil. However, I feel like Mothman is the protagonist of the story. I feel like those other folks who we're not going
really?
to talk about, I think they might be the antagonists. I totally see Mothman as the protagonist. I feel like he's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to have him come hang out, but I feel like it's fine.
It'll be all right.
What I'm
Totally.
worried about is that the men in black, I said it, are fucking preventing me from sleeping. So I've decided to just ingest a lot of Monster and fight back. Bye.
As she stares into the fucking
alive.
flames of the candle.
Yeah, I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well.
Well, okay.
Human beings need sleep.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Anyway, give us a new topic to obsess
I
about.
am. I don't know that it might help you with your sleepy timeness though.
Yeah.
Or maybe it will. I don't know. I went a little different this week.
Okay.
It actually I was actually a little bit inspired by you and your and your stories.
Ooh, okay.
So
What are you going to talk to me about?
well, I have a thing. I'm hopefully you don't fucking guess it like I did and just ruin it.
I mean, I hope you're not talking about the Men in Black.
No.
Because I will fight you for that.
No.
I don't want to talk about it, but I do want to talk about it.
What she's saying is that she doesn't want me to talk about it.
I
She
don't.
wants to talk about it in
I
her
do.
own time
I do.
when she's ready for it.
I do.
And I recognize
If you
that.
literally rolled up in here and you were like, we're going to talk about the Men in Black, I'd be like, motherfucker, you're not.
You would if that was the case, you wouldn't be listening to this right now.
I'd be like, motherfucker, you are not.
No.
Yeah.
No. So
But you are going to freak me out.
maybe, I don't know. It went a different direction. I was like, let me just start.
Okay.
Right. So I
Please do.
started I began the research for this week's episode kind of like how I always do, which is, I stare blankly into the internet void until something reaches back out to me. But the problem with this is that you really don't want things reaching out to you from the internet, to be honest.
What, like estranged fathers? Like, what are we talking? What kind of things are we talking about?
You just don't want things to reach back out to you from the internet,
Okay.
honestly. Like,
Okay.
if the internet starts talking back to you, then it's not a good thing.
Okay.
It's kind of like that scene in Poltergeist when Carol Ann places her hand on the static TV and the entities start calling out to her. It's kind of like me trying to summon up this week's episode.
That's like me every week.
So next week I'm probably just gonna go back to like typing in spooky stories to tell for podcast and and leave it at that.
God.
But yes, the internet reached back out to me and pulled me into a wormhole of shit that I just felt compelled to talk about.
At least it was
this
warm.
week.
That was not the adjective I was expecting.
I said wormhole, not warmhole.
Oh, I thought you said a warm
A wormhole
hole
of
of
shit?
shit. And I was like, well, I mean, simultaneously comforting and also disgusting. Then again,
Depends
I
on who
haven't
you're
slept
talking
for
to.
6 days, so
A worm.
worm.
How can I?
Worm.
Oh, God.
Worm. A wormhole.
Wormhole.
Wormhole. Wormhole.
Worm.
You have to pronounce the O like an E. Wormhole.
Worm.
Wormhole. Yeah. you got it.
Worm.
Yeah.
All right. Wormhole. Nope. Okay. We went into
I
a hole.
didn't realize that you couldn't say the word wormhole.
Worm.
I'm going to say it every episode. We're changing the sign off.
All right. So imagine. It's 2012. And you're walking.
Simpler times.
Very much so.
All we were dealing with was the Mayan apocalypse,
That is
not the actual apocalypse.
God damn it, Katie. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that episode would have been really cool in like 2011, but to talk about it in 2020, I don't know.
No. So imagine it's 2012 and you're walking down the street. Maybe you're walking home from a night out with friends, or maybe you're walking your dog, or if you're like me, you know, you're walking back to your car from the cookout takeout window, burger and hot dog combo in hand with an extra large sweet tea. And you notice something posted on a nearby street pole. Curiosity peaks as you walk towards it and begin to make out what you see. It's a picture of a white cicada, wings spread out, and a QR code underneath it. You shrug it off as something weird, probably an advertisement or some shitty indie podcast based on all things horror and macabre trying desperately to get you to join their Patreon. But you pull out your phone and you scan the QR code and it takes you to a page that says a poem of fading death, named for a king, meant to be read only once and vanish. Alas, it could not remain unseen. You've shared too much at this point. We want the best, not the followers. Thus, the first few there will receive the prize. And then at that point, if you're like me, you clear that shit from your history and immediately go back to your car and head home to enjoy your delicious cookout tray and continue to mind your motherfucking business. But you would have found yourself in the middle of one of the internet's greatest mysteries and its most confounding puzzle, Cicada 3301. Have you ever heard?
I don't know a fucking thing about it.
Well, you're about to learn
I feel ignorant.
today.
Honestly, I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm excited.
You about to learn
Suddenly,
today.
hang on, let me reposition
Oh, she's
myself.
positioning herself.
Let me get my...
Look
get
at her.
myself
Look
positioned.
at her.
Take a swig of Monster while we're at it. Let me move my mic away from myself so that I don't disturb your sensitive eardrums.
Yes, please do. We don't. There you go. Look at you.
And then swallow directly into the mic.
And
Anyway.
Now, I said you'd be in the middle of the puzzle because this event happened in 2012 and was about a month or so of a sequence of puzzles that were being facilitated by an unknown group of people who dubbed themselves Cicada 3301. They claimed to be looking for people. Why? Let's get into it. So on January 5th, 2012, an image was posted to 4chan of white text on a black background that said, "Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to finding us."
That was posted on January 12th?
January the
2012?
5th, 2012.
The 5th, okay.
Yes. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. Good luck, 3301. Now, this blew the fuck up on 4chan. If you were on 4chan, you were on this board or whatever the fuck 4chan has. Honestly, I've never been to fucking 4chan, so I don't know.
You were on 4chan on this board.
Whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is. I've never been.
Yeah, 4chan was one of those things, unfortunately, that could have been really cool, but instead just turned into like a cesspool full of like, well, I won't say that. I'm sure there were fine people on 4chan, but there was also a lot of incels on 4chan. So unfortunately, it's become known for that.
Yeah. And there were a lot of theories about what this could possibly be. Some people thought that it was an ARG. Some people thought
Sounds like an ARG.
that it was some sort of recruitment program for various agencies. And to this day, there are very few people who know where this rabbit hole led to. And what's even more interesting is that the ones who do or did seem to have disappeared from the internet entirely.
Oh, hell. We traffic in humans, y'all. Can't have that.
So, are you ready to follow me down this rabbit hole? Are you guys ready?
What would you do if I dead ass looked at you and said no?
I'd pause and ask, are you okay? Maybe do you need to, have another drink? Or maybe fix another espresso?
Do we need to go get you another Monster?
Talk or conversation? And then I would politely escort your ass back to the seat.
You would edit in digitally spliced Katie.
God, no, that bitch scares me.
She always ready.
She terrifies me. So I'm going to try my best to break down this process into simple terms for us all to digest, because we're not all hip on the coding lingo. A lot of it does involve coding and some really smart shit that
I feel you.
I'm just like, whatever. So I was trying to as I was going through this process, I was trying to break this down and all right, what are we talking about? So we have this image of the text, and supposedly there's a message hidden in here somewhere. So users tried a bunch of different methods to figure the first step out, and they initially landed on a particular type of text editing software which allows users to read the byte information within the image, and this led them to a URL. But the URL was a dead end. When you put the URL in, it took you to an image of a decoy duck that said, "Whoops, just decoys this way. Looks like you can't guess how to get the message out."
Cool.
Some savvy sleuths soon realized that this image was indeed a clue to use a particular program called outguess. Hence the use of the words out and guess in the image. Now, outguess is a program that is specifically designed to hide messages in images. So, back to the beginning. Yeah. When you put the image into this program, out pops the words, "Here is a book code. To find the book and more information, go to," and then it provided a URL link to Reddit. And this subreddit had two images, one of a welcome mat and the other of this weird medieval painting that was really distorted.
Okay.
And the welcome mat, when put into this program, said, "From here on out, we will cryptographically sign all messages with this key. It is available on the MIT key servers," and then input all of this smart lingo. And then it said, "Patience is a virtue. Good luck, 3301. They're big on that.
Let me tell you what. Again, I don't know how to use this software, but I want to bit all of our images. Basically, I want to take all of our images
and hide secret
on
messages
our
in them.
Instagram, and I want to make the message for all of them, "Patience is a virtue," because girl, you don't know when you're gonna get another one.
Is true.
Especially on the gram. I'm sorry.
That is true.
We are trying.
That is true.
We're working on it.
That is true. So the second image said, "The key has always been right in front of your eyes. This isn't the quest for the Holy Grail. Stop making it more difficult than it is. Good luck, 3301. So at the top of this subreddit was a header that consisted of a set of Mayan numbers. This was used as a key to figure out the next clue, which led you to an excerpt from Thomas Bulfinch's mythology, which is based. I'm assuming you know that.
Yeah, I've read it.
I didn't, but
Yeah.
I said yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on my bookshelf, actually.
Oh, cool. Well, this text was
culture.
was what was then. Well, then you had the book code.
I did all along. You don't know I invented this game?
What the fuck? Katie just silently shuts my laptop and she's like, "We can't talk about this anymore. We can't do this episode."
I signed a non-disclosure.
So this text is what was then needed to crack the book code from our original image. Now, if you're not familiar with book code, it's essentially two numbers, the first being the line of the text and the second being the character in that line. So if the book code is 515, then you look to the fifth line and then the 15th character in that line, and then that would be your letter. When you apply the book code numbers in the first image to the text from Thomas Bulfinch's book, you get the phrase, "Call us at telephone number 2143-909-608.
Damn, it must have been a long-ass book code.
Yeah.
Because you had to spell out all them numbers.
Oh, yeah, it was. Huge. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kenny, did you call this number? And the answer is, of course I did.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, I would fucking hope. If not, we're doing it right now. I'm putting that shit on speakerphone.
It's deactivated.
Damn it.
It is deactivated. But in 2012,
We're only 8 years too late.
I know. Great, like, fucking code masters we are, right?
Yeah.
Like, great
Damn.
puzzle solvers
On the
we
cutting
are.
edge.
But in 2012, you would have gotten a message, and I'm going to play that message for you now.
Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpg image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com on the end to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye.
Interesting.
Yes.
So there's 3 prime numbers that are associated with the first image that you saw
Yes.
of the cicada.
Yes.
So somewhere buried in there are 2 other prime numbers, and then we got to do some arithmetic.
Yes. So the original image had the dimensions of 509 by 503.
Okay.
And so because those are the prime numbers that they were talking about, and you multiply those by the 3301, it equals the number 845,145,127, which gave us the number that you put in to create the URL.
Right, with a .com behind
With
it.
the
I swear to
.com
God,
behind
when
it.
you said 8, though, at first, I swear I thought you were going to say 8675309.
I thought-
I was going to be like, yes. Yes.
Right.
Anyway,
No, but
I'm
it's
not disappointed.
It's not.
It's fine.
It's not.
It's fine.
Not as catchy, but
No.
So this website led to an image of a cicada and a countdown. And using our outguess program of the image, it pulled out the message, "You have done well to come this far. Patience is a virtue." Check back at 1700 on Monday, 9th, January 2012, UTC 3301.
So now we putting time limits on shit? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so they waited. And on January the 9th, when users went to reapply the image of the cicada through the outguess program, they were met with a different message. This time, users were met with a series of coordinates. These coordinates were all across the globe. Mm-hmm. And at each of these coordinates, users found a white flyer with the cicada and the QR code.
Oh, that's cool.
So now we've made a bit of a circle back. At this point, users began to realize that Cicada 3301 wasn't just a troll, but
Yeah.
a
A collective.
A collective. A collective organization.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it's a collective organization of trolls has yet to be determined. But when you scanned these images, you got one of two messages. The first one I mentioned earlier. The second one was, it said, in 29 volumes, knowledge was once contained.
Encyclopedia Britannica?
Damn, you smart.
Was that it?
I believe that is what it eventually led to.
Damn.
How many lines?
Smart.
Well, it said, it continued to say, how many lines of the code remained when the Mabinogion paused? Go that far in from the beginning and find my first name. Followed, of course, by the message that they want the best, not the followers, and that only the first few would receive the prize. These messages were also followed by book code, and once they found the book it was pertaining to, it led them to an address of the .onion variety.
Tor browser.
Tor browser.
Time to use the Tor
The
browser.
Tor. So most of us will now know that this is taking them to the dark web.
Dark web. If
Dark
you're interested in learning more about the dark web, you can listen to our podcast episode on it. I'm not sure which number it is because I didn't know what we were going to fucking talk about today. Anyway, we did an episode on the dark web. It's
You can find it. It's called episode whatever, the Haunted Heart Podcast, the dark web.
Sure.
So, yes, I do believe that the second book they found the first book first. Well, they found the book. They found one of them first. The encyclopedia was found later.
Okay.
But once they arrived, they were met with the message, congratulations. Please create a new email address with a public, free web-based service. One you've never used before, and enter it below. We recommend you do this while still using Tor for anonymity.
Yeah.
We will email you a number within the next few days in the order in which you arrived at this page. Once you've received it, come back to this page and append a / and then the number you received to this URL. For example, if you received insert series of numbers, then you would go to http / series of numbers, whatever.
www dot.
And then it signed off with 3301. The people that provided an email address were sent a second puzzle that honestly was really too complicated for me to even try to put into dumb bitch terms. Like, I tried. It wasn't working. I was like, you know what?
They did a thing.
They did something else.
It's fine.
Just, suffice it to say that when solved, it uncoded the message that included the phrase, very good. You have proven to be most dedicated to come this far to attain enlightenment. And here's where things start to get a little dark. Supposedly, those people who made it this far received an email, and those that accepted went completely dark and vanished from the internet entirely. So this was something nobody really knows what happened at this point. There are some leaked emails that may or may not be legitimate, but people were really working on this together. So at the time, this was a huge thing. And then people would come together in groups to try to solve all of these puzzles. Mm-hmm. And supposedly those that made it just kind of dropped from all conversations, which was really weird. There was an email, like I said, that was leaked out, but it may or may not be legitimate. They don't really, I think there's still a whole fucking fandom regarding
around
Cicada
this.
3301. It's a whole thing.
And they gonna come for us?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, but no, I was just saying that there's a whole fandom around it, and they're not so it's not, this email is not proven to be from them.
Okay.
It's just something
alleged.
That's out there
you're
in
saying
the fandom.
That it's alleged?
It's alleged. It's an alleged
Alleged.
email, and as such it goes.
It's an alleged email that allegedly goes.
Yeah. Congratulations, your month of testing has come to an end. Out of the thousands who attempted it, you are one of only a few who have succeeded. There is one last step, although there will not be any hidden codes or secret messages or physical treasure hunts. This last step is only honesty. We have always been honest with you, and we shall continue to be honest with you, and we expect you to be honest with us in return. You have all wondered who we are, and so we shall now tell you. We are an international group. We have no name, we have no symbol. We have no membership rosters. We do not have a public website, and we do not advertise ourselves. We are a group of individuals who have proven ourselves, much like you have, by completing this recruitment contest, and we are drawn together by common beliefs. A careful reading of the text used in the contest would have revealed some of these beliefs: that tyranny and oppression of any kind must end, that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an inalienable right. We are not a hacker group, nor are we a wares group. We do not engage in illegal activity, nor do our members. If you are engaged in illegal activity, we ask that you cease any and all illegal activities or decline membership. At this time, we will not ask questions if you decline. However, if you lie to us, we will find out. You are undoubtedly wondering what it is that we do. We are much like a think tank, and that our primary focus is on researching and developing techniques to aid the ideas we advocate: liberty, privacy, security. You have undoubtedly heard of a few of our past projects, and if you choose to accept membership, we are happy to have you on board to help with future projects. Please reply to this email with the answers to the next few questions to continue. 1. Do you believe that every human being has a right to privacy and anonymity and is within their rights to use tools which help obtain and maintain privacy, cache-strong encryption, anonymity, software, etc.? 2. Do you believe that information should be free? 3. Do you believe that censorship harms humanity? We look forward to hearing from you. 3301.
Huh. All right. I mean, so it just kind of sounds like we got some freedom fighters. It's
Yes.
cool. I mean, I'm not really super down on censorship either. Just live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
I mean, it doesn't sound so far that it doesn't sound like we're trafficking children. So, like, I'm down, you know? As long as we ain't murdering people or, like, trafficking people.
Yeah.
I'm still down to kind of, like, poke around and see what's going on.
Yeah. But after that, nothing was heard from them for about a month, when another image of white text on black background showed up on the Reddit forum that said, "Hello. We have now found the individuals we sought. Thus, our month-long journey ends. For now. Thank you for your dedication and effort. If you were unable to complete the test or did not receive an email, do not despair. There will be more opportunities like this one. Thank you all. 3301. And from that point, nothing was heard from this group until a full year later, when another image was posted on 4chan and a different puzzle began in a recruitment for more people. And at the same time, a warning message was posted by someone who claimed to have been a member of the Cicadas for nearly a decade. And this is a really long letter, so I'm going to try to summarize it a little bit. But this letter was posted. It is known as the warning in this fandom.
Got it.
And this person goes to say, "I apologize for the sometimes improper language in this text. English is not my first language, and I have also used software to make authorship to 3301 Cicada. Does not know who publishes this. Thank you. I was part of what you call 3301 for more than a decade, and I'm here to warn you to stay away. This is a dangerous organization. While I agree with many of the goals, their ways are nefarious. In fact, I think it is like a left-hand path religion disguised as a progressive scientific organization."
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We talking about the left-hand path? I mean, I'm over here ready. I mean, I can't fucking decode any type of bullshit. But we can talk about the left-hand path. We can fucking talk about that shit. If you tryna.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah. Disguised as a progressive.
This is like the one thing that you've explained that I'm just like, I know exactly what that fucking is.
Yeah.
I think the monster just kicked in.
The monster
Shit.
said, "Oh, time to act, honey."
Here we go.
Disguised as a progressive scientific organization.
Uh-huh.
I realize this is a strong statement, but I will provide important evidence to support these claims.
Got it.
And then they go on to talk about what the organization is, which is kind of what we have discussed, like what some of their goals are in advocating for liberty, privacy, security, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they go on to say the first public appearance was the recruitment campaign, which would have been a year prior to that. And he kind of goes into what, that is. So that he's saying that was their first public,
Okay.
foray into this.
Sorry, I'm making a funny
So we're in
face,
2013.
but it's because. So how did they have people all over the world then, though? If that was their first public appearance of recruitment,
Well, I guess that's
like, it
part
sounds
of the
like
mystery.
they were
of it.
recruiting before.
Yes, but that was their
part of the
first
mystery.
public. Well, we get into that a little bit. Like
Oh, we
that
do.
was their
Okay.
first sort of open casting call, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
It was
Sure.
It was private up until then,
Oh, okay.
or by more word of mouth, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Pretty much. And then he goes on to talk. They go on, because I don't know if this is a he or she, but they go on to talk about the puzzle or whatever and how it was solved by fewer and fewer individuals or whatever. And then they go on to say that they were recruited in the organization when they were an officer in the service of their country for many years. They say, "I was a career officer and showed great promise and was quickly promoted. Finally, I arrived at a high position. I was approached by my superior. I will not say titles for anonymity. He said he was very impressed with my work, and he asked me what my goals are, personal and professional. Professionally, I had my eyes on the top. Personally, I would eventually like to settle down and start a family. But this was not in the foreseeable future because my career is often forced to be away from home for long periods of time. We began to meet a few times a week for coffee at any time we were in the same place. We would like to discuss a variety of topics: science, philosophy, religion, politics, mathematics, and other that ultimately play games, and we discuss these issues. The games of chess, backgammon, and Go were the top three. I did not know, but I was being investigated for membership at this time. As it turned out, my opinions and my goals were very much in line with that organization. At the political level, I leaned towards freedom, which is called at the time. I am well educated in science, mathematics, and foreign policy. I was non-religious at the time in those first days. Philosophically, I agree with the ideas, and so he kind of just talks about how he just sort of aligned with their beliefs.
Got it.
Finally, after more than a year of being examined without knowing it, I was invited to the organization. I accepted with gratitude. It was here what I wanted from the beginning: a group of like-minded individuals, all incredibly talented and connected, and to work together for the common good, the good of mankind. It takes many years to learn the true nature of Cicada, though. Before going further, I have to explain some things about the organization, with no particular order. So he's getting into the origin stories now. So they say that it's established initially, organized by a group of professional military officers, diplomats, and academics who were dissatisfied with the direction of the world. The organization is in no way linked to any military or the government of any country. However, they recruit often among high government officials to gain more power. The structure, they use multiple structures within one global structure. There's a decentralized cell structure. However, some cells have a higher rank than others, which led to a hierarchy, despite decentralization in general. He goes on to talk about how they practice compartmentalizing. So many of the cells or organizations have no knowledge of each other. And they often do not know that they belong to or controlled and organized by the cicada. Within each cell, there is usually a strict military structure. Cell hierarchy is often in a military-like structure, so that's some similarities there. So it's very militant, apparently. And that there are different cells dedicated to different areas. So you might have cells dedicated to technology. Some might be research. Some might be foreign policy. And he goes on to say that it is possible that the cells are founded, may be possible to disagree with other cells or even the objectives of the organization itself, which is a little weird. And he kind of believes that they sort of have like an idea of being like a global brain, which is really weird. That they believe in absolute freedom and individual, and they believe in like, freedom of information and all of that. But just that it was very strict and very militant. And they have all these weird teachings about how absolute morality does not exist. They teach that there is no real reality, that all reality is dependent on the observer. They teach that there is no salvation in life, for there is nothing from which we must be saved. So, got some weird shit going on in here.
Why do I feel like I'm a member of this fucking group?
I don't know.
I feel so when we talk about stuff like freedom in this context, like you hear they believe in like no censorship, they believe in freedom, they believe in things like that. Like on the face of it, like it doesn't sound particularly insidious, but it can be like to say that you believe in absolute freedom taken to an extreme,
right.
A message such as that, if you take it like philosophically, if you break it down all the way to its extreme, it would mean that like there is no objective right and wrong. Murder might not be wrong.
Right.
If we have absolute freedom, then we have absolute agency over ourselves, then there shouldn't be anything like welfare programs or help. There should be no such thing as like helping somebody else out of quote unquote the goodness of your heart, because that person has the same amount of agency as you do. And that person, you don't necessarily have to do anything to help. It's not, it gets away from the ideals of like fraternity or like brotherhood or things like that, where we're all kind of helping each other. And it does sound like taking those ideals, they're choosing their words very carefully, because it's words like freedom. Everybody agrees with freedom.
Right.
No censorship. Everybody doesn't like censorship. But if you take that all the way out to its extreme, particularly considering like the left-hand path type of ideology, it becomes a very like almost a very, very, very extreme form of Satanism, where it's literally only about you.
Right.
Which sounds like one of my trash exes. So, so maybe not that. But yeah, that's very interesting, because it's sort of coded when they talk about their ideology, right? Like,
yeah. And which is weird when you think about, the fact that they're using all of this like coding and secret messages. It's kind of like, why wouldn't it apply to things that they say as well? You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't all be like, the messages aren't necessarily always like tangible in the sense that like I can put this image and get an actual message out, but like what are they actually saying? What's hidden behind their words? Right.
Like we don't believe in objective evil. If they were to make that one of their statements, right? Then you'd be like, no, I don't want to be part of the club. No, thank you. But instead they say, like, we believe in absolute freedom.
Yeah.
Absolute freedom sounds great. Mm-hmm. If we're thinking about fucking bald eagle, fucking American flag, Bud Light, 4th of July.
Fuck yeah.
Merca, fuck yeah. But like, that's not like that. It sounds like the context of the situation is rapidly turning towards, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, you should be free,
right,
to go murder your neighbor and rape his children. Like, and that is not what we need. It's not what we need.
Absolutely not. No, we don't need that. No. Not good. I mean, honestly though, like I would have been out the moment my fucking
Bitch, we
peace out
never would have
meter-
had the patience
No.
to even
Number
get there in
one,
the first place.
I would have stopped after the QR code. If I would have people started before the QR code, but if I was just like, if I just happened upon like this fucking
Flyer.
poster and I like scanned it and it came up with some shit like what they said, no. Like I said, I'm out.
Yeah.
Done.
No.
I'm putting it down now.
I mean, I would recommend not scanning random QR codes because when you go, unless you have like next level security on your phone, like that you specifically put on there, you don't just, I mean, it's not like fucking incognito mode. Okay. It's a little more than that. Okay. But like, unless your phone is somehow like, and I'm sure there are people who have done it, unless you have extreme security on there, I would not go around scanning random QR codes because you being able to load a web page from a QR code means that your device has sent data to that website and then pinged it back, basically. And that's why you can load the page. So they have now collected your information with you scanning that QR code, which is why I don't fuck with stuff like that. I would have been like, it's very tempting, but I'm going to just drink my cookout milkshake. We going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. I probably still would have scanned it, but
you definitely would have.
Yeah. I'm curiosity.
But I ain't trying to get got.
I'm like, curiosity killed the cat, and I got.
Yeah.
So we've got that message that popped up in 2013, and then in 2014 they showed up again for another round of recruiting.
Well, how did all this shit end in 2013? Was it a whole game that like came to a conclusion? Do we have details, or do we just know that they showed up again and
we just know
we're
that
assuming they recruited a new bunch of people?
We just know that they showed up again because the puzzles. We just know that they showed up again. I'm not sure about the 2013 puzzle, but I know that in 2014 they showed up. They ended up popping up on Twitter, I think, in either 2013 or 2014 through some random like. It wasn't like this is Cicada 3301, but it was like it was a Twitter profile that was sort of like facilitating it.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
And. So they showed up in 2014, but that puzzle has yet to be solved. The cicada showed up again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it has yet to be solved.
Huh.
The cicada showed up again to post a clue in 2016 and again in 2017 and have not been heard from since.
Motherfucker. Give me another clue to go off of. Like, I'm down. Let's solve this fucking thing.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So it has not been solved to this day. And there are people that still work on this.
Yeah. Are
Like,
they
to
still
this
making
day.
discovery?
Yeah. So there's a whole thing with this, with that puzzle that involves like, there's pages and there's like, I want to say like maybe 70 something pages of like random like fucking coded runes or something. It's like got rune language on there, and like only either one or two of the pages have been decoded, have been able to have been decoded, but not all of them. And it's just really crazy that you have all of these like, people who are pretty brilliant, and they try to work together, which was something that was interesting to me because they didn't want the followers, and a lot of that was sort of originated from this idea that they didn't like for people to work together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they wanted only the people who could kind of come in, solve this, and get it like on their own. They didn't want too much teamwork. So, which kind of harkens back to their idea that if you believe this letter of them working in like individual cells within this organization, that like, you're not working together too much, like just enough. And I suppose a lot of that probably has to do with, the belief of, this belief in anonymity or whatever. But there have been a couple people to come out of the cicada closet. I mentioned one earlier. And another is a young guy by the name of Marcus Warner, who supposedly solved the puzzle and joined the group and claimed that they operated into smaller groups that they called broods on various tasks. So this guy, Marcus, claims to have been one of the ones to solve that original puzzle back in 2012. The cicada symbology was often apparent within the group, referencing the type of cicadas that come out every 13 or 17 years, primary numbers, and whose populations are often called broods. And each brood would have no knowledge of the others, and they were tasked with creating software that would further the cicada ideologies. And one in particular that he claimed to have been working on is a software program to protect whistleblowers called the Cicada Anonymous Key Escrow System, CAKES for short. CAKES. Which would trigger the automatic publication of sensitive data online if and when the whistleblower was indisposed for a significant period of time. However, Marcus noted that the allure of this group seemed to fade away within his own brood, and it started feeling very monotonous. So members just kind of fell off until it was just him working on his program. And eventually, Marcus himself faded out, and he claims to have left his work on the CAKES program hidden somewhere in the dark web for someone else to pick up and continue working on. And he hopes that the cicada just don't mind.
He just like quit working.
Well, apparently that's what. Yeah, so
just he eased on out.
He eased on out. He was like, well, the article that I pulled his story from is it's a lot, and so I only pulled a small amount of it. So he has a lot that he talks about, like his discovery of the puzzle and solving the puzzle, and more to go into that. He mentions that he had often tried communicating with the cicada leadership, that it was just becoming a bit much once all of his fellow brood members started like dropping away, and it was just him. And they claimed that they would be running more recruitments, and he was expecting to have more people joining him and helping him, create this program. But that just never happened because nobody solved the fucking puzzle.
What the fuck? So strange. What a weird, it sounds like they need a new HR person.
Honestly, I think so. A new HR person. There's a whole lot.
What the fuck is this secret society organization? Is it run by us? What the fuck?
Sounds like.
He's just like, can I please have more people? And they're just like, yeah, we're gonna get them.
Yeah,
we're gonna get them.
We're gonna get them. It'll be there. It'll be there. It'll be all right. So a lot of people really just It's still, like I said, to this day, one of the greatest mysteries that the internet has spat out, because nobody knows who they really are or, what's going on with them. But it's still pretty interesting. I think that anytime you get some sort of weird secret society, there's always an allure around it. And I could definitely see that, all right, now you've passed the allure, now you're in to do the work. And then now it just becomes fuck, this is work now.
It's too real.
It just becomes
damn, now
shit.
I actually got to do shit.
Now I got to, you want me to
we
build
ain't
a
even got no
program?
masked orgies? What kind of fucking secret
program?
society is this?
I know. There's a whole, like I said, there's a whole fandom dedicated to Cicada, dedicated to trying to solve this puzzle, dedicated to the first puzzle. And I want to plug so if you go to YouTube and you plug in Great Big Story, that's the name of the What do they do on YouTube?
The handle?
The handle. Fucking
Yeah,
I was
YouTube
like,
handle.
That's their YouTube
The
handle.
fuck?
I just couldn't think.
You're not ever gonna get recruited to Cicada 3301. Man, we don't even know what the fucking handle is called. Username? What the fuck?
What's it called? Their fucking their username.
Whatever.
So it's
on the internet.
Great big story. They have I think it's 4 episodes on cracking the code of Cicada 3301, and it's really cool. And they have like fun, like they add a visual element to it.
That's cool.
And it's like I said, it's so deep that I just like couldn't get into. Some of these puzzles are like in fucking sane, and I'm like, I noped right the fuck out, and I was like, you know what, we just gonna talk about it. But interesting, I was like, well, didn't those damn cicadas come up this year?
Yeah.
Those fucking cicada. Where were you at?
The actual
Cicada
cicadas.
3301.
Well, no, because you were talking about the years when things were coming out, and I was like, oh, maybe the years are like prime numbers. But then I was like, well, the first one was in 2012, and that's divisible by 6, and also 2.
See, I don't even know what the fuck a prime number
and
is.
And also 4. You know what a prime number is? A prime number is a number that cannot be evenly divided by any other number.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So, but the years are definitely off for that because
Another reason why I couldn't be a part of this fucking club. Could not be a part.
I mean,
of
it
this
sounds honestly. So like, it sounds. On the one hand, like it sounds really cool, but like the details about it just sound fucking like a job that you ain't getting paid for.
That's what I'm saying. Don't join a secret society.
Down.
Unless you know what you're getting into. I need
Y'all
a
gonna have to pay
brochure.
me. And when is the orgy Wednesday? Like, I mean, we gonna be in a secret society and we ain't even got no orgy night.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Where
I'm gonna need a buffet and orgy night, and they better be ranched there because
not ranch dressing.
I don't like my salad without ranch on it.
Not ranch dressing.
Jim,
I
voted for ranch. At the newsletter that got sent out, I voted for ranch dressing on the salad bar at the orgy.
Instead, look. But since everything is so coded, you have to like encrypt it into an image, and it's just your face. And then they put it in the program, and then it just pops out the words, "I requested ranch."
It's just a mean ass mug. Or I encode a message that's like, "I requested ranch." At the orgy buffet, and it's a photo of like Hidden Valley. That's the type of shit I would do.
I just have to give it to these people because there's some smart people out there. I'm not one of them.
No. See, that's not for us because we would have immediately just been like, well, cool. I mean, we would have seen the first one. Like you would have scanned the QR code. I would not because I'm trying to live, and not get put on a list.
Right.
I'm already on many lists. But you would have scanned it. It would have loaded the page. We would have been like, ooh, for like one night. And then we would just fucking noped right out.
You just would have noped.
It's not for us.
No, it's definitely not for us. But I mean, I don't know, like, because they have some like literature infused in there. And then like, so I mean, you have what of the books.
I have
and then
both
you
inches in college.
And then you guessed one of the books off the top of your fucking
True,
head.
but I don't have that software stuff. That's why I find that whole realm of things, like the whole technical stuff, like I find it very sexy because I don't understand it at all. It's kind of like math. Math is really sexy.
Yeah.
I am not very good at it. Beyond like arithmetic and like algebra and shit, but like the higher level math, God, that stuff's so hot. But I just don't understand. Like I'm just like, talk to me about math. Tell me all these crazy things about math.
Speak to me in binary.
No.
Speak to me in leet speak.
Leet speak. Yeah. But I think that we would have lacked the software skills to get us there.
I definitely
also,
agree.
It kind of sounds like they're a bunch of tools, so maybe not.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that it would have I mean, you might have been able to add some sort of like human element into it, some historical, some literature, some something. You would have been able to like, if they were like, hey, we need a random fucking book to use for like our, like our code. Like, I'm pretty sure you could find some fucking crazy shit to like throw out there. Me, I mean, I guess I can make your graphic for the year.
I can make your graphic.
I guess I can.
That's your role.
I can make the picture of the cicada.
Fine.
I can't code some shit into it,
No,
but like
no.
you code
You
it
do
in
that.
there. I'll arrange it nicely on the flyer for you. I'm the one that decided to put the QR code beneath the cicada as opposed to above the cicada. But think about, like, you have this whole global network of people. And those flyers were posted everywhere from like Paris to the US. They were also posted in places that are known for having people that are very intelligent when it comes to coding and like technology and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean like Seattle?
True, I guess. Yeah. Actually, I think, the phone call, they traced that back. That
Seattle
was
area
from,
code?
Nope, Texas.
Damn. Okay. All right.
The Big T. So
We're in Texas. Do we know?
I think so.
Is it a
but
Dallas
I don't
person or an Austin person? Because
Might have been
they're
a-
two very different people.
know. Might have been a Houston person.
Oh. Well, that explains it. There you go.
So yeah.
It's a Houston person.
But that's my story today on the Cicada 3301.
Interesting. I wonder what they're up to now. But I don't wonder if you're listening. I don't wonder enough to look into it. I'm just going to keep living my fucking life over here. You just keep living your life over there. And we'll just do our thing.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of, like, you know how like the Anonymous Act?
Yeah.
You know how like it kind of reminds me of that, and just I appreciate you, but stay over there.
Yeah. Respect, but also like respectful distance is what I like to enforce with those types. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I
I
mean,
mean, definitely, totally.
just respect and just a good, healthy amount of distance. Well, if you're on the basic part of the internet,
If you're on the tip of the iceberg,
which I recommend maybe staying on the tip. Just the tip.
just the tip.
That's the slogan.
Just
when
the
it comes
tip of the internet for me.
Yeah, that's my motto when it comes to the internet. Just the tip. If you're on just the little tip of the iceberg, regular internet, you can find us there. You won't
can.
find us on the tour. Actually, if you do, you know what? Don't tell me. Don't let me know if you do find me.
Leave it alone. Don't
there.
Keep
Just
us
don't-
ignorant.
Don't let me know.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know.
No.
If there's some horrible dark web version of me just going around. I don't want to know. I don't want to meet her.
Well, speaking of that,
I'm good.
Speaking of that,
Oh, yeah?
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Fuck.
No, while
not gonna go
researching
well.
this, I know you're getting ready to go into your housekeeping, but did you know that there was like a thing called that there's a belief that there is a female AI that exists at the deep, deep, deep dark web, known as, some might call it the Marianas Web, named after the Mariana Trench.
I think I have heard about this.
I was gonna research that, but there's not enough information about it.
It's very,
But just
like,
wanted to point that out.
just a lingering fear to
just as a
leave there in your
lingering
mind.
Fear to leave in your mind in case I did not do my job today.
Oh, by the way, there's some horrible female AI that's like totally independent, just waiting for you in the fucking depths of the internet, just swimming around, eating all your data,
Eating all your data.
just living life. And it's me. It's digitally spliced Katie.
That
Plot
was my
twist.
fear.
She's stolen my voice.
That was my fear. That's my fear.
Damn, that'd be rough. That'd be rough. Anyway, if you need something to take your mind off that, you can go follow us on all of our social media, which is on the safe part of the internet, quote unquote. We're on TikTok, apparently, at the Haunted Heart Podcast.
Yeah.
So go join us there. We're on Instagram also at the Haunted Heart Podcast. Twitter, we're at the Haunted Heart. And if you have listened to the backlog of episodes and you need more Haunted Heart in your life, we got you covered. Head over to patreon.com/thehauntedheart, and you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month and get access to all sorts of exclusive content and just like all kinds of random shit that we throw up. Bloopers, like little extra kind of like side bits that kind of like how Kenny was talking about. There's the story that he found about that thing that we're not remembering.
The AI?
Yeah.
The female AI?
Yeah, we're not thinking about it, though.
Mariana.
We're not going to think about it. Little stories like that where there's not quite enough to do a full episode, but we want to kind of talk about it. It's a spooky topic. It's interesting. We throw those types of things up there. We also have Spooky Smut on the Patreon. It's quite entertaining. So check us out there, and if you can, support the show, and that would be fabulous.
Yes.
It would allow us to continue to operate this secret organization.
Is it? Is it? Is it though?
The way we run our social media might as well be. Also, our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is again growing. That is fabulous. If you are not on the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. There's a lot of good discussion there. It's very cool to meet, all sorts of different listeners that listen to the show, and I'm not a huge fan of Facebook in general, but it is cool to kind of have a space where we can have discourse and discussion with the people who actually listen to the show about the topics. So that is always fun. So consider joining there. And I think that's it.
That is. The house is kept.
I think that's it.
The house is kept. The house is clean. It's spotless. So we're going to sit down at our computers and we're going to start cracking some code. No, we're not. What we're going to do is we're going to go downstairs and we're going to like only thing we're fucking cracking is like
another fucking monster.
A fucking another monster. That's exactly what we're fucking doing. But hopefully we won't be like the cicadas and see you in another 13 or 17 years.
No.
But we will go back into our holes until then.
We will.
Our wormholes.
Worm
into our wormholes.
There you go.
When we see you again, we hope that you will have not fucked up this intro while you will have stayed spooky. Well, while you're staying spooky.
Look, how about you just have a glass of water, and until next time, stay off the dark web and stay spooky.
Thanks for that save.
Wormhole.